I'm Leigh Torgerson. I'm the co-president of the Chevy Chase Estates Association. We've been following this particular case since Wolfgang Kraus, the first zoning administrator hearing. We support everything all the appellants have said. What I was going to go through very quickly is in order to grant a variance, it's required by law that you make 4 findings. The first finding is that the strict application of the provisions of the ordinance would result in practical difficulties or unnecessary hardship inconsistent with the general purposes and intent of the ordinance, which comes from the general plan. The housing element strategy 1D says that part of the general plan is to bring substandard property into compliance via code enforcement, and we believe that granting variances and exceptions to the code is not the way to follow the general plan and bring things into compliance. The second finding is that there have to be exceptional circumstances, and we've heard, I think the zoning administrator hearing officer touched on that. We don't believe this is a special case. The third finding is the granting of the variance will not be materially detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to property or improvements in such zone or neighborhood in which the property is located. Don't want to beat a dead horse. You've heard all night about the safety aspects, and we agree with that. The one thing I was going to point out to you, and that handout shows the landslide hazard area map of Chevy Chase Canyon. 3 or 4 years ago, we pointed out that the property at 2674 Kennington was right in that landslide hazard zone where it depicted a potential hazard, and that was the grounds for our objection for the variance for that property. The City Council at that point voted to allow the property to be built anyway, and subsequently what happened was there were massive landslides during construction that took out the guy's driveway or garage and driveway on Chevy Chase below. In 2010, who was in the newspaper and the Glendale News Press, massive flooding. That whole hillside came down, took out the rest of the guy's garage. The city engineer and the fire department were out there for a couple of weeks pumping water and taking care of the damage, and I believe the homeowner at Chevy Chase is still negotiating with the city on building retaining walls. So our point is that if you look at that map, this property's in the same area, the same kind of a hazardous zone. So we believe that the application for the variance should be denied. The plan for 20% slope along with retaining walls, which would help with both people driving off the cliff for Councilman Jerian, and the landslide would be abated by the additional retaining walls.
Thank you. So just so I understand Chevy Chase homeowner position, so it's the driveway slope is the only issue for you, or are you against the project no matter what the driveway slope is?
It's the driveway slope and the safety of the substandard fill, the potential for landslide, for the potential for getting up there and doing construction and having all the debris and hillsides coming down on the neighbors, and we saw that on the Kennington property. And if all of that can be abated, and if the slope of the driveway and the widths and everything can be brought into compliance so that the fire safety codes are met, then we would have no objection to the project.
Okay, so as long as they can do the 20% slope and the rest can be engineered safely.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
That would be our position.